referee just make his own decision or have a committee behind him to help him during the week?
Well, what's happened, of course, is there's been some major incidents in the last few years where the clips were sent to the referees, and I'm afraid to say the moral courage shown by a few of the referees was not exactly what we would have liked it to have been. In fact, they just didn't, in the face of overwhelming evidence, didn't change the decision. So it's only right now that the committee do their own dirty work, to quote Kieran Shannon, and get on with it themselves. If they're picking the clips, let them adjudicate on it as well. The referees have shown us that they are not consistent. Some of the referees will upgrade them and change their mind or downgrade them if that's appropriate, but others have shown us that they won't stir.
Isn't it a fair point, Bernard Flynn, to say a referee is there to make a decision on the day? He's not there to be infallible, because you can't expect that of any human being. So he's got to make a decision on the day.
They're not infallible, and none of us are, but there's absolutely couldn't agree with you more. But the one thing is, Conor Coonan touched on it very, very strongly there earlier on the piece, and Kevin said there as well, a lot of them mightn't be just brave enough to make, if you're handing something back to a referee to revise his decision, basically you're asking him to change his mind. And when they don't do it, they're afraid because maybe implications coming down the road for extra matches or whatever it is. But I'd have to say one thing overall, definitely it's something I don't think is going to have a huge bearing, except when we look at a serious incident that maybe it's like citing in rugby. I think that's where it could be used. Definitely looking back, the video evidence could be used there, but as regards not leave the referee on his own. Kieran Shannon says dirty work, let the CCC do his work.
Very briefly, Kevin, on the other issue, pointing cameras from provincial finals and giving teams a time-out, basically, what it comes down to.
The motion failed to define what a major incident was. Was it a goal? Is it a ball over a sideline? Is it two hops?
A schmozzle, as Micheál O'Hare used to say.
I'm a fan of video, of technology, but in this case, no, I think controversy probably has its place in the GA, and no, that's going nowhere, that one.
Keeps us in business for a start anyway, that's for sure. OK, now one final one from next weekend's Congress. Now this is a call for official recognition of the Gaelic Players Association. As it stands, the GPA have achieved a degree of recognition from Croke Park, but not in the official GA rulebook. Now there's a call for that recognition to be made official.
I think there's a general acceptance now that player welfare is very important to the GAA as an organisation, and the mindset of officials has changed, and the relationship between players and administrators is better than it ever has been. So I think that augurs well for the adoption of the motion at Congress.
The GPA is here to stay. What I like about it is that it's basically run by former players and the players themselves. I've never heard any player in any dressing room that I've been involved in talking about pay for play.
It's very important that the GAA recognise the GPA formally, and that all those lads are in under the great GAA umbrella and working from the inside, helping to sort out the issues on the inside, and I think that's what everybody wants.
I see it as a step forward that the GAA and the GPA can work together to resolve, issues that the players have, welfare or medical issues or sports or injuries or whatever the case may be.
Having somebody outside of the organisation who has a big part to play in the organisation really wasn't productive for any side. So I think it's better for all sides that would happen, and I hope that one definitely goes through.
Everyone on our panel anyways is fully supportive of the GPA and what they've been doing for players over the last number of years, and the only way to, I suppose, to really have a really positive impact in the future is to work with the GAA, and I definitely would be fully supportive of that.
I'm very confident it will be passed. It's gone through some of the process already. I think by and large there's a great acceptance that the GPA should be officially recognised, that it is important that we look after our players and treat our players appropriately, given their huge commitment and the contribution they make to the commercial success of the association.
And I suppose I would urge the people that are maybe against the GPA and see it as a threat to the amateurism. It's not, I don't think any player wants professional. In an ideal world we'd love to be paid to do what you love, which is hurling, but at the end of the day it's all about wearing the jersey, and that is not lost on any inter-county player and never will be.
One thing I think that comes across in all of this, Bernard Flynn, is anybody who has played the game or is playing the game at the moment is in favour of this, but there is another section within the GAA who's very wary of it all.
And you've got to respect
they have votes.
And they have votes, and that's and they're older, as you sort of touched on there yourself. You've got to respect everyone's view here.
Said they had votes.
Well, they are. Let me tell you, they are. They go back a good while. It's a chicken and egg, if you like.
Yeah.
the GPA have to be officially recognised. They represent 2,000 people, approximately, inter-county players. You know, this is not, forget about anything. This is an investment in people, and people that matter, and that is the players. It's not about pay for play, hiding behind that smoke screen. That's gone. It's a thing of the past. There's no such thing as pay for play. Players don't want it. The GPA don't want it. It's investment in people, and I think under the present structure at the moment, you know, I think it's logical, it's sustainable. And I think it's very intelligent the way they've tried to structure the whole thing together. And it's a better place for the players to play in now. And with all due respect to everybody else, it's about time we opened our arms, embraced it, and Christy Cooney, Pádraig Duffy have been fantastic and brave what they've done.
Bernard,
and here to them all.
Bernard Flynn says they have to be recognised, but the question is, will they be at Congress?
Well, I think they have the office space chosen, the carpet chosen as well. So I think, yeah, Central Council are square behind it. So it is going to get through. But I'll just draw your attention to motion 52, the one that follows it.
Yes.
Or might even come before it, depending on the clore, from Kildrassa in Tyrone, who say that under no circumstances should the GAA, the association, recognise individuals or groupings. So there are naysayers out there, and they will have their moment, and they have a vote, as you correctly mentioned.
All right, lads, thanks very much indeed for that. So now here on Sunday Sport, we're going to take a check on the weekend's main results in Gaelic games. Well, Tyrone's lost today, condemning them to Division 2 football next season, and Mayo getting that win in Cork. Now, Kerry made sure of their place in the top division against Monaghan, and Derry getting the win against Galway. Well, here's the Division 1 table then. Tyrone and Derry are the sides relegated, while it's Cork and Mayo, of course, for the National League final in a fortnight's time. OK, here are the results from Division 2. That big win for Armagh against Donegal. Now, downbeat Laois by a single point. Meath getting the better of Kildare. And Tipperary, well, they were capping up a miserable campaign for Westmeath. And here indeed is a look at the Division 2 table. Down and Armagh will contest the divisional final here. But Tipperary's win, in actual fact, today wasn't enough to save them, because they are relegated along with Westmeath. OK, it's Division 3 next. Now, Sligo beat neighbours Roscommon, and Cavan took the points against Fermanagh. Well, Antrim lost to Wexford today, but they're still winners because they are promoted along with Sligo. And in the last game there in that division, Louth getting the victory over Offaly. And so all that means that it's Roscommon and Fermanagh who lose out in this division. Right, here is the situation in Division 4. Well, a great day for Waterford, winning the match and promotion, and also, in actual fact, a great day for Limerick, who pulled off exactly the same achievement by their win over Leitrim. Now, elsewhere, a big win for Wicklow over Kilkenny, and Longford getting the win over London. Now, a result from the National Hurling League in Division 3A. Kerry beat Derry in that deferred game from earlier in the season. And in Division 4, Monaghan beating Longford by a clear 8 points. And finally, a result from yesterday. St Coleman's of Newry claimed their 6th All-Ireland Colleges football title with victory over St Brendan's of Killarney. OK, that's it from Sunday Sport for this weekend. Now, before we go, a quick look at what's coming up on RTE television during the week in terms of sport. We start tomorrow night with soccer. It's all the action from the Airtricity League, and that, as usual, is on MNS, and it's at 7 o'clock. And right after that, we turn the spotlight to rugby. Well, it's been a busy and exciting weekend for the Irish sides in contention. Against the Head is at 8 o'clock. And then back here on Sunday Sport in a week's time, we have the final day of matches in the Allianz National Hurling League. Now, our featured games: Dublin against Limerick in that vital relegation battle, and also Kilkenny against Waterford. We will be here at 8. OK, we're going away for a while right now though, but I hope that you enjoy the programme. Bernard Flynn and Kevin McStay have been here with me in studio, and my thanks as usual to them. Now we'll have more from the GAA playing fields this time next week, and we will of course be discussing what transpired from Congress up in Newcastle. Well, you know, it's 50 years this year since the footballers of Down famously took the Sam Maguire across the border. Well, as the delegates head for the mountains of Mourne next weekend, so much has changed for the association in that half a century.
I would imagine with the condition the players are in now, it's a lot quicker. I was definitely in favour of opening Croke Park. It lets the people see all over the world what sort of a stadium we've got for an amateur game. And it's great to have it showcased all over the world. They're going to have to definitely, I think, fist the ball, because everybody's throwing the ball now. Not sure what's happening there at all. They seem to be throwing the ball to one another now. I think they should go back to kicking the dead ball off the ground. Players are well looked after nowadays. I wouldn't be in favour of player power. Certainly when we were playing, we were well treated for that time, but nothing like what they get now. If they're going to pay the players, I want to make sure that they backdate it 50 years.